Welcome to Breakfast with Spaniels with Dr. Judy Morgan. Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
So do I look older and more gray? I think I just aged. So for those of you who don't know, we had our puppy over the weekend. Gwen and Brandon are now the proud parents of Sarah Marie, who made her entrance into the world Saturday night at 9:26 p.m. at 8 pounds, 3 ounces, 21 and a half inches long. Yes, she's going to be tall. She's got really long toes, just like her mama. And very exciting. The first text we got from Brandon said, "She has black hair." He texted that before she even popped out. And they are all doing extremely well. Very, very happy. We got to FaceTime with them yesterday, which was just amazingly great. And I can't help but have tears in the eyes. And our family is growing. Hugh's younger daughter is due for her second daughter. And she happens to be due on October 16th, which is my son's birthday. So, and North Carolina had their biggest earthquake, I think in history, but their first earthquake since like 1916. And it was the morning after Sarah was born. And her Gwen said, "This feels like a Marvel Comics year, like what now?" And I said, well, her brother, when he was born, we were in the hospital watching the World Series. And that was when the huge San Francisco earthquake happened. And the announcer said, "Oh my gosh, I think we're having an earth." And then the TV went blank. So I reminded her that her brother had an earthquake associated with his birth as well. And I think it's a family thing. So anyway, but we're excited. We can't wait to go down there. We're not going down for a couple of weeks. We're going to let them get home from the hospital. Her father and his wife are at their house, taking care of their animals and getting everything ready for them to come home from the hospital today. So we are extremely excited. Actually, that's kind of an understatement. So anyway, why aren't we there? Because we are kind of a high-risk COVID family in this household due to age and underlying conditions and other things. And because they're at the hospital, Gwen had to have a COVID test at the time of admission. And I think that they're in a very safe environment. The birthing center that they are at in Raleigh is separate from the main hospital. And they're very careful about, like, when Brandon went in with her, he was not allowed to leave. So they've both been there together in a private room, which is beautiful, for the entire time. And so I think it's very safe, but I wanted them home from the hospital for 2 weeks. So we made an agreement, and especially so we also wouldn't overwhelm them. We made an agreement that her dad would go down and spend the first 1 to 2 weeks, and then we would come down after that to make sure that everybody is safe. So I think that was a peach, Patty, the swaddling wrap. I think it's a peach. I think it's just a little peach. Because I thought it was a lemon at first too, and then when I looked at it further, I think it's a peach. Um, but anyway, very, very, very exciting. So now I'm allowed to have the gray hair to go with the grandma thing because I refused to go to the hairdresser. Um, and oh my gosh, what else went on over? Oh, we had huge storms here Friday night. For those of you who are supporters, you know that right when we went on air, Friday night was right as the tornado warning had come through our town, and the wind was swirling, and the rain was pouring, and our basement was taking on water. And I'm not sure when the tree came down, but we noticed it yesterday morning when I was out weeding the flower garden. Hugh said, "We have a problem on the back 40." And, I stood up and looked back, and there's a huge tree, half a tree, that came down. It's actually on the outside of the fence. We think it's in the neighbor's yard. They're not going to do anything about it, so we are. But it came down on the fence. And luckily, our fence is 3-board with wire. And the wire is not damaged, and it looks like the top board's just popped off whole. And so the minis can't escape, so they're still able to go out in their field, and we've got somebody who's going to come and take care of our fencing. So it's that time of year where we get these big storms. The good news is our dogs are pretty deaf, and they didn't care one hoot about the storms. They didn't move. I don't think they even knew anything was going on. So anyway, exciting times for us. I had a frustrating weekend with some some not even consultation emails, some crazy people. I'll talk about that another day. I got really frustrated with a couple of people over the weekend, and I don't lose my cool with pet owners very often, but I lost my cool with one this weekend, so really frustrating. I'll tell you, it takes a lot to push me, but we'll talk about that one on another day. Crazy lady. The storm was not the pinnacle of the live. Oh, yeah. In the middle of the live, Gwen called. Actually, we were 3/4 of the... All right, I'll talk about how that unfolded. So we started our live at 7. We had the tornado warning on the TV. I posted that. And then as we're going live, the wind is swirling and the rain is pouring and the wind is blowing and, all kinds of excitement going on. We get about 3/4 of the way through the live for the supporters, and the phone rings. My mom answers the phone because our phone announces itself, and it said phone call from Gwen Campbell. I said, quick, answer the phone. Mom answered it, and I'm kind of, like trying to talk, trying to listen. And Gwen called to tell us that her water had broken and she was going into labor. So, of course, we heard that conversation on Facebook Live with the supporters. And so I got on the phone and they got to listen to my side of the conversation. And poor Gwen, she was just like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And so I hung up and then went right back to finishing teaching the class. And all the supporters were like, how can you just turn that off? How do you just go right back to teaching? I was like, well, I felt bad. I felt like I needed to finish. So, your first grandbaby is due in 2 weeks. It is exciting. It is really exciting. It was the best live ever.
And then what time did she go to the hospital?
She went to the hospital about 2:00 in the morning. And Sarah was born at 9:26 Saturday night. So, but she only had to push for 10 minutes. Kind of an easy first-time delivery. Really wasn't bad.
The whole thing about meals.
Yeah. So, we're texting and calling, and she goes, Brandon said, well, they're bringing her breakfast, and after she has breakfast, then they'll give her the Pitocin. And I'm like,
she had a shower.
You're having a meal? Then Brandon called us in the middle of the day and goes, oh, well, she's taking a shower. And then he gets a hold of us later and says, well, they're bringing her dinner now. And then after dinner, I'm like, really? Because I was in labor with my first one for 36 hours. There were no meals. There were no showers. It was just 36 hours of torture. I'm so glad they've made it so much better in the past 30 years. I'm so glad that we are improving. And I think having... she had a doula and a midwife. And I think that was so much better. And she was so much better prepared. I had never heard of a doula before. But so for those of you who are expecting grandchildren or children, let me just tell you, there are much better ways to do it than just having no knowledge. I mean, the only thing I had was the book, What to Expect When You're Expecting. And it was a much older version than what we have now. And anyway, Gwen was very well prepared. Brandon said she was a little upset that her spreadsheet with the timing of everything and when she would take drugs and when she wouldn't take drugs got screwed up at the very beginning. And she was a little upset that it wasn't following her plan. She engineered it to death. That's what engineers do. But anyway, it was an exciting weekend. We are so proud of them and so happy for them. And if you've seen any of the pictures of Brandon with his little daughter, let me tell you, he is just already wrapped around her little finger. She can have anything she wants. I guarantee it. He is so in love. And it is really, really great. Had your children at home. That's amazing. It is really great watching them and seeing what's going on. So I want a camera in their house so I can just watch this baby 24/7. I'm sure they will never agree to that. They can just hang it over the baby's crib. A baby cam. I want a baby cam. They have puppy cams, where people can sign on and watch the puppies playing and growing up and stuff. I want a baby cam. All right, I got to go get my car inspected for the second time because they couldn't find some stupid port for the emissions last time and just wasted 3 hours of my life. So Dorothy says, I was a doula for my granddaughter's births along with the midwife. Wonderful experiences. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Somebody else, my daughter had a doula, makes a huge difference in the birthing process. I think it does. I think it really does. So excited. I don't know whether Kirsten will have one. But Kirsten's on number 2. Number 2 is always easier. Yeah, we'll have to look up exactly what a doula is. She will learn you can't chart children. Oh, I know. I can hardly wait to see her charts for when the child is going to do what and how. We have a long list of instructions for when we go down there. Yeah, those photos are so cute. She is so cute. That kid has more hair. Lots of hair. Dark hair. Morgan.